At first glance, this looks like a routine DUI, plea, another name on the docket, another guilty admission, another quick sentencing. But stay with this one, because what unfolds in this courtroom is far deeper than a traffic stop or a blood alcohol number. This is People v. Kamar Reed, and it quietly transforms from a legal proceeding into something far more human. We have a 21-year-old defendant admitting guilt to operating while intoxicated. The law is clear. The penalties are clear. The outcome seems predictable. But then the judge does something unexpected. He slows everything down. Instead of rushing to punishment, he starts asking questions. Not about the case file, but about her life, her grief, her father, or a downward spiral. What begins as a straightforward misdemeanor plea turns into a raw, emotional conversation about loss, coping, and accountability. You'll see a judge balance firmness with empathy, structure with compassion, and issue a sentence that isn't just about punishment, but about survival and growth. So here's the question to keep in mind as you watch. What is justice really? Supposed to do punish past mistakes or prevent future ones? Because this courtroom is about to answer that in a powerful way.
May I have her sworn?
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
State your name.
Tamara Reed.
All right. Ms. Reed, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. Understand that?
Yes.
The court could also order any community service or rehabilitative service if the court deems necessary. The court could order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the costs of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that? Yes?
Yes.
All right. Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights form?
She didn't, Your Honor, because she's in custody. I could have her do that now, or we could do that verbally, however you prefer.
Okay. You recall signing an advice of rights form, ma'am?
Yes.
Any questions regarding any of those rights?
No.
You'll see on the podium, I need you to look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or
This
parole?
section is textbook criminal procedure, and it's important. The judge is making absolutely sure this plea is known, voluntary, and intelligent. That's not just a formality. It's a constitutional requirement. Once the defendant pleads guilty, they permanently give up the right to a trial, the right to confront witnesses, and the right to appeal most issues. There's no rewind button. Notice how carefully the judge walks through each consequence. Jail exposure, fines, costs, community service, even vehicle immobilization. This is about transparency. The court is protecting the record so no one can later say, I didn't understand what I was agreeing to. And when Kamar confirms again and again that she understands and is pleading voluntarily, the court locks that plea in. From a legal standpoint, this moment seals the deal. Everything that follows is now about sentencing, not guilt. And that distinction matters more than most people realize.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will
Yes.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes.
November 27, 2024, location of Carpenter near Chester Drive in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
All right. Prior to operating that motor vehicle, did you consume intoxicating?
Yes.
What did you have and how much?
I had a couple of seltzers.
Seltzers? All right. Were you stopped by the police or was there an accident?
I was stopped by the police.
Why'd they stop you?
My lights were off.
All right. Were you ultimately arrested?
Yes.
Were you taken to the station?
Yes.
Was there a blood draw or a blood test?
Both.
Blood draw?
Yes.
All right. What were the results of that blood draw?
I would stipulate for the plea, it was a .09 blood test.
You have any reason to dispute those blood test results?
No.
No? All right. I do have to advise you that if I do accept your plea, if you commit misconduct between the time...
This is where the factual foundation of the case is cemented. The defendant admits she was driving, admits she had been drinking, and confirms a blood alcohol content of .09 over the legal limit. No dispute, no argument, no minimization. From a legal perspective, this is an airtight plea. What's interesting here is how calm and straightforward this exchange is. There's no drama, no excuses, no deflection, just facts. And that honesty is going to matter later. Judges pay attention to accountability, especially early accountability. This also explains why the defense isn't fighting the stop. Driving with headlights off after midnight, that's a clean, valid reason for a traffic stop. Everything that follows is legally sound. At this point, the case could have ended quickly, but it doesn't because sentencing is where the real story begins.
9 a.m. All right. Either as to bond, but as to the violation.
The violation first, Your Honor, my client would waive her right to a hearing and be prepared to admit to drinking and ready to do that this morning.
All right. And that is correct, ma'am?
Yes.
You're waiving your right to a hearing?
Yes.
And you do admit, have you seen the violation report, ma'am?
No.
Okay, your counsel went through it with you, however?
Yes.
All right. And that there were on June 13, 2025, that you were drinking?
Yes.
Very good. Court will accept that admission. How long have you been in?
She turned herself in yesterday morning. Is that what time yesterday?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. yesterday morning.
All right. How old are you, young man?
20,
How old are you?
21.
Where were you drinking?
Um, sorry. My dad passed away a couple
Pardon?
years ago. My dad passed away a couple years ago, and I'm not handling it probably in the best way.
Now the tone shifts. We move from the original DUI to something more concerning, a bond violation involving alcohol use after the charge. This is serious. Courts treat bond conditions as a test of trust, and violating them usually leads to jail. But notice something important. The defendant admits the violation immediately and waives her right to a hearing. That's significant. She's not denying it. She's not fighting it. She's owning it. And that matters because honesty can soften consequences, even when the mistake itself is serious. Still, make no mistake. This is a crossroads moment. Many defendants lose their freedom right here. What happens next depends entirely on how the judge views why the violation occurred. Recklessness or something deeper.
Looking back on it, when you were drinking a lot, what do you think would happen for you? Probably don't know how to answer that question. I mean,
Yeah.
That's a tough question, isn't it? Suffice it to say, young lady, it would kind of make you forget and have the pain go away a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you in school?
Yes. I'm supposed to go back next semester.
Did you finish up this semester?
No.
What happened?
I stopped attending my classes, so I had to withdraw.
Where were you in school?
It's my sophomore year,
At what school?
Eastern Michigan.
So when your dad passed away, had you already enrolled in school?
Yes.
And you made it through how many semesters after that?
2, and then I took a gap year, and then I went back.
Those 2 semesters that you...
This is where the courtroom gets quiet and heavy. When Kammer explains that her father passed away when she was just 18, everything suddenly makes sense. Not as an excuse, but as context. The judge isn't minimizing the behavior. He's trying to understand the cause. Grief doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like withdrawal. Sometimes it looks like self-destruction, and sometimes it looks like alcohol. The judge recognizes that, and instead of shutting her down, he leans in. He asks hard questions not to trap her, but to get her thinking. This is the moment where law meets humanity. And you can feel the shift, not just in the defendant, but in the entire courtroom.
In high school?
Okay. Did you do well there? You got siblings?
I have a twin brother.
You have a twin brother.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
It's with mom in the corner of the courtroom.
Mom's on? Oh, okay. All right. So what do you think I should do with you? Well, before you answer that, let me ask you this. As you were going along struggling, trying to deal with your father's passing and things, did you let your mom know?
A little, but
Pardon?
not as serious as it had gotten. I don't think.
What about your brother?
I think he noticed.
You think he noticed?
Yeah.
Probably because he's your brother and also a twin, he probably did. Probably felt it. Did you reach out to anybody?
I've been seeing a therapist weekly.
You were?
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been doing that?
I was seeing one for. I've been seeing her for like
This
7.
part hurts because it shows what's at stake. A solid student, decent grades, a clear path forward. And then grief slowly pulls everything apart. Withdrawn classes, declining GPA, loss of direction. Judges don't ask about school for small talk. They ask because future structure matters. Education represents stability, accountability, and routine. 3 things grief often destroys. And when Kamara admits she stopped attending classes entirely, it confirms that this isn't just a legal issue. It's a life issue. His exchange reframes the case. The court isn't deciding how to punish a criminal. It's deciding how to redirect a young adult who's
Might
drifting.
not be fitting with you, right? Okay. All right. Now I'll get back to what do you think I ought to do with you?
Sure, I guess whatever punishment fits.
Give you a chance to prove you can stay sober.
Yeah. A chance to prove I could stay sober. I think.
You think you can?
Yes.
That wasn't real confident the way you said that.
I want to. And I think that I can.
Young lady, why do you think I asked you all of those questions?
See why I did it, I guess.
When a judge shares something personal, pay attention because it's intentional. This isn't about sympathy points. It's about credibility. When the judge says he lost his own father at 16, he's establishing something powerful. I understand. This pain at this moment changes the authority dynamic. It's no longer just law speaking to a defendant. It's experience speaking to experience. And it carries weight. The message is clear. Grief doesn't disappear, but it can be survived. Without destroying yourself. This is mentorship from the bench. Rare, real, and deeply impactful.
At some point, while you try to sort of bottle it up and push it down, it somehow or another just all of a sudden begins to explode. Right? And then at some point, because you're not dealing with it, you're kind of out of control. And then it becomes harder. At the beginning, you probably could have told somebody, but by that time, you don't tell anybody because it becomes hard to explain, right? And it becomes real difficult to, no matter how close somebody is, even talk to anybody because you don't know if they're going to listen or they're going to take time to listen. And the reality of all of that is what you want is you just want that hurt and other things to disappear. Right? Were you close to your dad?
Yeah.
Something's gonna. I'm gonna guess, but I know I'm right because I'm always right. But I'm gonna guess that you were a daddy. All right. Look, more than anything, and I'm going to tell you, I don't always talk about myself, but I'm going to tell you why I asked the question. Here I sit all these years later. I lost my dad when I was 16. So when I'm asking you those questions about grief, I get it. Okay. I'm going to let you know that if you.
This sentence is carefully crafted. 2 days in jail, credited, immediate release. By supervision, ASCRAM, tether, and a direct order to return to school. But isn't leniency. It's structured accountability. The judge removes alcohol access, adds oversight, and reintroduces direction. He's not ignoring the violation, he's responding to it intelligently. This is prevention-focused justice, and that order to go back to school. That wasn't a suggestion. That was the court stepping into a parental role, not to control, but to stabilize. It's firm, intentional, and
How am I
protective.
going to keep you sober? You. Young lady, there's just right now, and partially because of the age you are, partially because of what you've been dealing with, a lot of things in life are real confusing right now, right? You're not sure the next step that you're taking, what direction that's going to head or what you're going to do, right? Okay, here's a suggestion I'm going to make to you. I want you to take whatever steps you're taking slow. I'm watching your mother over there. She's goosenecking trying to look over Miss Pilara's head, but your brother has been right all up in it. Okay. What that tells me is you got a family out there that'll just love you, they'll support you. And if you hadn't told them, probably after today, they'll sit for whatever time and just listen to you. Okay. And as you let it pour out to them, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to come out wrong. It's going to come out crazy. You may think yourselves crazy as it's coming out, but just let it come out. Okay? Here's what I'm going to do. I indicated defendant.
This case ends without handcuffs, but not without consequences. Kamar Reed is held accountable legally and personally. The court accepts responsibility for the DUI, addresses the bond violation, and imposes conditions designed to keep her sober, supported, and moving forward. What makes this case powerful isn't the charge, it's the approach. This judge showed how justice can be firm without being cruel and compassionate without being careless. It's a reminder that the courtroom isn't just a place for punishment, it's a place for intervention. Now we want to hear from you. Did the judge strike the right balance here? Was this the right sentence, or too soft? If you found this case as powerful as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more real, emotional, and geo-dropping courtroom breakdowns.